Hey there guys, over here bringing you the race review of the Bahrain Grand Prix 2013. And what a race and what a win by Sebastian Vettel. A very dominant win in the end. 2011-esque win by Sebastian Vettel as he really just led from the front completely. At the start it was a very aggressive start. So let's get through all the teams. So starting with Red Bull, Vettel, very aggressive start and got first place after some good overtakes on Nico Rosberg and Alonso. And Alonso looked really punchy at the beginning, but Vettel was so aggressive into the second sector. Those high-speed corners, he was really aggressive into those corners and made it stick and showed his racecraft that people have been questioning lately. So I actually really, think that was a brilliant drive from him, and I've got to say hands up and admit that was a brilliant drive and no one can deny that. And it actually means my race preview prediction was correct. I said Sebastian Vettel would win the race. I said he would get pole as well, but that didn't happen. But he did win, like I said he would, so I'm pretty happy with my prediction. Going on to Mark Webber. Mark Webber had a bad race, obviously. He had that three-place grid penalty, and he was looking good, actually. He was in second at one point in the race, then dropped down to about fourth. And then at the very end, he was being overtaken by Hamilton, and they were swapping positions for about 10 laps. Some really good racing from Webber. He actually got overtaken by Hamilton just after the pit straight, the small left-hander kink. Hamilton had a really good run on him, but Mark Webber stuck to the outside and really just pushed Hamilton back onto the track and got past him again. But at the very end, he got overtaken by Sergio Perez, and Mark Webber pushed down all the way to 7th place, so a bad race for him. Going on to Perez and McLaren. McLaren had a mixed day. They had a really good start, and the middle of the race was looking good for both of them. And Perez on the back of bottom, they're both squabbling for about 15 laps, I think it was. Perez really aggressive after Martin Whitmarsh told him to toughen up. And Sergio Perez with some really aggressive driving. Button actually complaining on the radio saying, you need to tell Perez to calm down. Because at one point Perez got so close that he touched his front wing on Button's rear right tyre. Could have easily been a puncture there. Very close, and some good stuff to see. As a McLaren fan myself, I'm liking what Perez is bringing to the table now, as Martin Whitmarsh has told him to toughen up. And Perez, obviously, as I said, got 6th place in the end. He was on a 3-stop strategy, and he was looking good. Him and Button were up there in one point. I think it was 5th and 6th, and then Perez got 6th in the end. Button was forced to make a 4th-stop strategy. So bad for him, so bad. At the last minute, he pits for 10 laps on the medium tyre at the very end, forced into a 10-stop strategy. Not a 10-stop, 4-stop strategy with 10 laps to go at the end on the medium tyres, much like Nico Rosberg, who was also forced to do a 4-pit-stop strategy. Just really the heat of Bahrain, that heat really just overheats the tyres, and it just doesn't work properly. There wasn't a lot of debris on the track. It wasn't like normal degradation. It was just sort of heat wear that just the tyres couldn't handle it. So moving on to Rosberg, and yes, he was forced into a 4-stop strategy, and obviously the pole man, he dropped down to 3rd, and it was dropping back and back and back. It seemed that the Mercedes cars didn't have any pace on the medium tyre, and he was falling back. Hamilton, his teammate, fell back to, I think it was 14th at one place. 14th place he fell back to. Obviously though, as I just said, Hamilton came back brilliantly. On the hard tyre, the Mercedes car looked much better, and Hamilton was able to get a nice 5th place. So a very good day for Hamilton in terms of coming back. He'll still be a bit annoyed on how the beginning of the race went. Nico Rosberg will be mega annoyed, and this is one race he'll want to put behind him, because going from 1st to 9th is just not what you want. So moving on to the Lotuses, we've got Kimi Raikkonen in 2nd place and Romain Grosjean in 3rd. Grosjean was looking really good to try and maybe do a 2-stop, but then he was forced into a 3-stop. But that actually worked out better for him, as he overtook someone I will not name until later on a 2-stop. So he came in a nice 3rd place and was he was running 2nd at one point, but was overtaken by Kimi Raikkonen on just a general pace. Kimi Raikkonen showing another good pace, and surprisingly, this is the same podium as last year. So, I said in my race preview, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. You might not want to check it out right now, but yeah, I did say in my race preview that I think it's going to be like last year. I predicted Vettel would win, and I predicted Raikkonen would be up there, and he did come out in 2nd place. So very good for the Lotuses after a bad start, and Eric Boulier on the Sky F1 was with them live on the pit wall, and he expressed that maybe if they're up, further up the grid, Kimi Raikkonen definitely up the grid, he could have, challenged for the win, definitely. But Vettel, as I said, that was such a dominant win, 2011-esque. You could have been watching 2011 and mistaken it So, moving on to Force India, very good, well, no, half day. Let's start with Suttle. Suttle, very bad day. He dropped down to last after a collision with Massa at the beginning. It wasn't a big collision, he just got touched off, and a very bad day for him. But De Resta, 4th place, equaling his best position finishing in Formula 1. He was actually in 2nd at one point, dropped down 3rd after Raikkonen overtook him, and then Grosjean came back on him and overtook him for 3rd place. So, a bit disappointing for Paul Di Resta and Martin Brundle, saying, getting 4th, equaling his best position, will not, be easy for him to swallow still, because he did miss out on a podium. But it was a very good race for Force India, and good things to come, I think. And also on that note, McLaren looked promising with their better pace at the beginning. Obviously at the end it dropped off a bit for Jenson Button, but it did look good. And obviously Spain next, big upgrades to come for McLaren. So moving on to Ferrari. Ferrari, a very dismal day. Felipe Massa down there in low points, and not even low points. He didn't even make it into the points. Felipe Massa, sorry. Fernando Alonso down in low points. As at the beginning, he did overtake and get into first place at one point. He was pushed down by Sebastian Vettel, but then his DRS broke. Basically, whenever you ever opened the DRS flap, it opened too much, and it would just stay stuck. He did it twice, and he had to come in twice to get it fixed. So he had no DRS for the whole race, but he still managed to get it up there into, what was it,